Okay, so hey there guys. So today's video is going to be my September favorites. I cannot believe September is over already. That means I already got through like a full month of school. So yay, if you guys don't know, I did go back to school and I have been in school since September 5th. So it's like October 1st right now. So it's been like almost a full month. Alright, I just felt like I needed a little bit more blush. Now I think we're good to go. So yeah, if you guys have been watching my videos recently, you guys know I tested out a bunch of drugstore products this month, so I have a lot of drugstore to share with you guys. And then I just have some regular staple favorites that I've been using throughout the whole month. I thought I was going to have more eyeshadow favorites than I thought, but I haven't picked up any really new eyeshadow palettes besides the e.l.f. one, which I will talk about. Sneak peek, I'm going to talk about it. So yeah, let's just jump right in. I think I'm going to start with just foundation and concealer because I only have one of each to talk about. So they're both from Wet n Wild. The first one is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation in the shade Porcelain. And this is a spatula applicator. I just want to inform you guys, if you're not careful with this, it will get on your clothing. I think I did say that in a Get Ready With Me, so I don't really want to take it out and show you guys. So far, I've been really liking this. It's very full coverage. It kind of reminds me of the foundation I'm testing out today. It's another drugstore foundation that I will haul in a little bit, probably within the next week or two, because I'm still accumulating more and more drugstore products. But this was the first drugstore foundation that I tried from the last haul. Like, I only got one foundation. And this is in the shade Porcelain, like I said. I feel like I'm so like off today. I don't know why. Because I'm pretty tired and I just got home from work a couple of hours ago, and then I had to run to the ATM. So I had to come back from work, eat, and then go back out again. So this is the foundation, and it's very full coverage, and I do really like the shade for me, and I'm not sure fully how I feel about it. It is really good, but I think I have other foundations that I like a little bit more than this one. I'm not saying it's not good. I wouldn't say I wouldn't recommend it. I just would say I like it. I'm not in love with it, but it is something that I've been wearing throughout the month. I feel like it's harder and harder for me to determine like which foundations I really like and which ones I don't like, because I feel like since I'm trying out so many new foundations now that it kind of gets confusing on how I feel about them. Like, I try to remember how it looked on my skin throughout the day. Sometimes I won't even like really look at it too much, like when I get home from school, because I have been really putting my foundations to the test, wearing them for two classes that I have on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I have a 9:30 class, and then I have a break in between, and then I don't have a class again until like almost 3 p.m. in the afternoon. So it's a really long break, but I do have my foundation on for that whole time. And I'm not sure like how I feel about it, because when I get home, I just take my makeup off because I want to take it off when I get home because I'm tired and I just want to sit down and do homework and relax. So, but I do really like it. I know that's like a really confusing way to describe it. So then the next product I wanted to talk about is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer, and I'm holding it the wrong way. It faces that way, and this one is in the shade Light Ivory, and this is what the applicator looks like. So far, this has been my go-to favorite concealer since I've gotten it. I'm not in love with the Milani one. I love this one so much more. That's why I'm not talking about the Milani one. I'm thinking about doing like a drugstore like review roundup for you guys, where I talk about like all the products that I've picked up from the drugstore recently, and then just review them all for you on which ones I love and which ones I don't really love. I don't hate any products that I try, really. If I do hate it, I will return it. I don't keep and hold on to products if I don't like them. I'll just mention them that I returned it. So, but this is so, so good. I love it. It's so creamy. It does remind me of the consistency of the NYX concealer, though, when I apply it. but it blends out so much easier. Like the NYX one is good, but I feel like it's dry. This is not dry at all. The only downfall of this is that it doesn't apply enough product to your face when you apply it, but other than that, this has been my go-to. I love it on no makeup days. I love it with a full face. It's just so creamy and works with like every single foundation. And also, I do wish that there was a lighter shade than this one, but there's like no yellow in it, so it really does work for my skin tone. Like it's pretty much close to my skin tone that it's like a fair enough shade. I don't know why it only goes to light ivory. I don't know why it's not like as light as the foundation, since the foundation's a little bit lighter, but which is a little bit weird because most people want their concealers to be lighter. So, but I've been loving it. It blends out so easily. It's so creamy, so hydrating. Really good concealer. Okay, so I'm just going to keep on going with the products on this side because I only have 2 eyeliners to talk about. So you guys know that I did test out a couple of drugstore eyeliners and I ended up falling in love with both of them. This is the Physicians Formula Eye Booster 2-in-1 Lash Boosting Eyeliner and Serum, and this is the eyeliner that I'm wearing today. This has been the only felt tip liner that I've been using because my Kat Von D one's dried out. It has a really, really nice tip. It's a really fine tip, so it's really easy to apply it. It doesn't transfer when you apply it. It dries so easily, and it really does give a nice, precise line. I wouldn't say it's the blackest eyeliner because I feel like sometimes my eyeshadow just does poke through. Right now I really like how it looks because I did reapply it again. The eyeshadows that I'm wearing today, I feel like they kind of fade throughout the day, and I will talk about that in a minute. I just didn't feel like reapplying them again because I'm going to take my makeup off after this. But I have worn this about 3 or 4 times this month. You guys know I'm not really huge into wearing eyeliner every single day, and sometimes I don't have time to apply eyeliner, but when I do, like today and yesterday, I wore it throughout the whole weekend because I went to temple services yesterday morning and today I went to work and I wanted to wear it, and so far I've been loving this. People rave about this from the drugstore for a reason. It is really, really good, so love that. And then the next eyeliner I wanted to talk about is the NYX Matte Liquid Liner. This is so good. This is so good. I think I found my favorite liquid liner ever. This is amazing. I know that people say that the NYC one is one of their favorites, but this one is really, really good. I've only had issues of it transferring like once, but it's not even that bad because it has such a fine tip that it really gets on your lash line, and it's so black. Like I don't have to reapply it a million times. This works so nice over glitter as well, because the only times that I've worn this, I've worn it over a Stila glitter. I think I wore it over not Bronze Bell. I wore it over Smoldering Satin, I think, last week when I wore it to Temple last week, and it was so opaque. I didn't have to go over it a million times like I do with the Urban Decay liquid liner. So far this is a winner too. I do want to find a brown eyeliner from the drugstore though, so if you guys know of any, please let me know. And I do want to find good waterline eyeliners as well. The NYX one, the Treasure Lee, it doesn't apply properly anymore. I don't know what's wrong with it. I feel like it hurts my waterline. So I am looking for new drugstore eyeliners on the waterline because the ColourPop ones aren't that great either anymore. They're getting pretty old. But I want like a felt tip brown eyeliner for the top lash line, for the bottom lash line like a black or a brown. But yeah, been loving this as well. So that's it for eyeliners. So now let's jump into highlighters because I am so excited to talk about highlighters right now. So first I'll talk about the 2 newer ones that I've been using throughout the month, and then I will talk about just some staples that I've been using like nonstop this past month. So the 2 drugstore highlighters that I got, I fell in love with both of them. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in the shade Precious Petals. People are raving about these for a reason. They're gorgeous. Like, They give such a beautiful glow. I'm not wearing it today. I'm wearing a different highlighter, but I'm not wearing either of the drugstore highlighters today, but this is just so pretty. And look at this packaging. Isn't it like so freaking gorgeous? Like so pretty, right? So this is what the color looks like when you swatch it. And it's just a beautiful rose gold shade. And I really don't have rose gold highlighters. I know that's like a little bit surprising, but I never really picked up any. I don't know why. Like, I do definitely want more rose gold highlighters. Like, I think that they're so pretty. Like, look how gorgeous that is. So, really don't have to say anything else about this. It's beautiful. And I've been wearing it so much this past month. And then the other highlighter is the Maybelline Master Chrome by Face Studio Metallic Highlighter in the shade Molten Gold. There's only one shade, obviously. Just looking at something. There's only one shade, and people like are going crazy over this one. I don't know why they only made one shade though. I think the other shade is the rainbow highlighter because it's called this as well, I'm pretty sure. So that's probably why they only came out with one. Maybe they were trying to see how it did and then release more shades. So this is what the highlighter looks like. It's such a beautiful gold color. Obviously, it's called Molten Gold. And then this is what the highlighter looks like. Isn't it so gorgeous? It's so intense. I wore this like all day on the first day of school where I was like walking everywhere because I didn't know where anything was because I was in school like so late in before the semester started because they got me into the program like a week and a half before school started. So basically I was late the first day, like 30 minutes late to my first class because I couldn't find any parking. And this is the highlighter that I wore. So when I was walking back to my car, I was sweating balls because it was a really hot day. It was like the first week of September. And I think that my foundation and my concealer wasn't really looking that good, but this stayed so intense the whole day, and I was like, damn, it's really gorgeous. So I highly recommend this one as well. They're both gorgeous. And the only other drugstore highlighter I'm thinking about picking up is one of the Milani ones. I think those are Walgreens exclusives. Okay, now let's talk about the highlighter that I'm wearing right now. I've been really into my Makeup Geek highlighters this past month again, but this is the one I've been grabbing for the most. This is the Makeup Geek Dual Chrome Highlighter in the shade Electrify. You guys know that this is like that gorgeous, like, dual chrome yellow kind of green shade. And it's such a beautiful, unique color. And that's what it looks like. You guys have seen me swatch this before, but it's like, it's so much different than what it looks like in the pan. And really like on the face, but this is so intense and it just gives off like a beautiful yellowish green tone. It's just so pretty, and obviously it's dual chrome, so it has that beautiful shift to it. But this is the one I've been grabbing for the most. I've been using the Kathleen Lights highlighting palette as well, but this is the one I've been using a lot. So that is that one. And then the next palette I wanted to talk about is the NARS Banque de Sable highlighting palette. I've been grabbing for this so much this month as well. I wore it last week to Temple. I wore it like a little bit before that. I've just been using it a lot lately. It's like a subtle glow, but not really. Like, it gives off enough intensity that it's like a medium. It's like a happy medium for like people that don't really love intense highlighters, but want like a little bit of a glow. Plus, like, I wish that they kind of applied the way that they swatch, because the way that they swatch, they are so pigmented. I wear these two shades the most, the first two shades, and those ones are... Alright, I'm sorry about me, like, kind of getting upset, but, it didn't really damage the product at all. It just kind of got, like, a little bit on my pants. It kind of, like, fell over into my thumb, and then my thumb pressed into it. So, yeah, but that's what I've been wearing. I don't really gravitate towards this one too much because it's a little bit dark for me. If I do wear it, I mix all three shades of it together and just wear all three. I did that, like, a week or so ago. But, yeah, they're really pretty. That's what they look like. That white shade is so pretty. That one is called Rivage, and the other one is called Sale, which is the one on top of that. that like medium tan shade. That's my favorite formula that NARS of a NARS highlighter that I have besides the dual intensity blushes, which are basically like highlighters. I don't know why they didn't just call them dual intensity highlighters. Like, who's gonna wear it as a blush? It's like so gorgeous as a highlight. I also was wearing that a couple times this month, but I definitely wore this more. I like this so much more than Hot Sand. I really don't like Hot Sand that much. It's really not that great. It's not like intense enough for me, and Albatross really isn't either, but this one and the dual intensity blushes are really good. So definitely love this one as well. Okay. And then the next highlighting palette I wanted to talk about, I've been wearing this so much this month. This is a newer highlighting palette to me. I've only had it a couple months, but I've just been whipping it out and using it again. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Aurora Glow Kit. And I know I've talked about this before being a favorite, and I did do a full review on it, but I really have been using it a lot this month. I just have decided to start using it again. So I pretty much have used every single shade this month. The only one I haven't really used is Luna, because that's more of like a frosty white shade, and I gravitate towards those in the winter time. But when I wear these, I really like mixing them. I love mixing Helia with Lyra. I love mixing Eclipse and Lyra. I love mixing Eclipse and Spectra, and I wore Orion a couple of days ago, like last week or something. It was so pretty, and I think I mixed it with Eclipse. They're just really, really pretty. You guys know I love Anastasia highlighters. I just wanted to swatch a couple of them. I pretty much was going to swatch like most of the highlighters in this. That's the blue one, and that's the Eclipse shade. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it that well, but it just gives off like a subtle blue tone. It's not like too intense. So I was going to get swatch happy with highlighters in this video. And then the last highlighter that I wanted to talk about, if I could put this back on, but yeah, I've just been grabbing for this so much lately. I don't know, I just really wanted to wear it a lot this month. And then the last highlighter I wanted to talk about is the Bobbi Brown highlighting powder in the shade Bronze Glow. I've been using this a lot this past month as well. Really have been going hard with it. It's so gorgeous. This is expensive. Like, these are like the most expensive highlighters I own besides like the Laura Mercier ones. But I got this last year during the Vibe sale, so at least I got a discount on it. And it is really beautiful and intense. It has such a beautiful bronze glow to it. And I've just been using it, mixing it with like other highlighters or wearing it on its own. It's just really beautiful and intense. So it kind of reminds me of Jouer's Skinny Dip. I feel like they're kind of similar. And Jouer's Skinny Dip is definitely cheaper. So yeah, that's it for highlighters. And now let's move on to some blushes. So for blushes, I just wanted to mention the drugstore blushes that I've been really liking. I just dropped one. Let me grab that. Ugh. Okay. I am a mess right now. Like, okay. Alright. And then I have these ones and this one. Okay, so for blushes, I wanted to talk about the Milani Baked Blushes first. This is the Milani Baked Blush in the shade Luminoso. I know it took me forever to actually purchase this blush. I was about to say like highlighter, but I'm like, no, it's a blush. This one is just really beautiful and intense on the cheeks. It just really gives a beautiful like tangerine kind of color, but it's not like too orange. It's so pretty, and it's not completely matte. I think all the blushes I'm talking about aren't completely matte whatsoever, except for the last one. But it's just a really pretty shade, and I realize why so many people love this. And I'm really glad I got the 25% off on the website, and I got like $2 to $5 CVS rewards to use with that. And then the last one I wanted to talk about is the shade Rosa Romantica. This is the other one that I got. And this is so pretty. I've been wearing this so much, like with makeup, without makeup. When I take my makeup off and go to my boyfriend's house, sometimes I just put on some blush and highlight and some lipstick. Because I'm like taking it off after school or work. So I've like already worn it already, so I just take it off and go to his house. And this is actually really gorgeous as a highlighter because it's not completely matte. I wish they would have just called it a highlighter because it's actually really gorgeous as a highlighter. Like, it's kind of a rose gold kind of color that I've been looking for. Look how pretty that is, right? Look how reflective it is. Like, it looks like a highlighter, but it's a blush. So, really love those. And then the other two I wanted to talk about, of course, are from Wet n Wild, and these are the Wet n Wild Color Icon blushes. These are both also not completely matte as well. The first one is called Apricot in the Middle, and this is the one I'm wearing on my cheeks today. As you can see, it gives a really nice wash of color. It's not like too pigmented, and it also like doesn't have like any pigment. But these are really pretty like luminous blushes. Again, they're not too matte. They have a lot of glitter in them, but they don't transfer to the face like that whatsoever. It's just a really pretty peach shade, perfect for every day. And then the other one is called Rose Champagne. I'm not as crazy about the color on this one as I am about Apricot in the Middle. I wanted to talk about it because of the formula, because I love the formula, but I wish this one was a little bit darker. I feel like it kind of washes me out a little bit. But I do love the formula on these blushes. I think that they're really, really good. So that one is Rose Champagne. As you can see, it's really not that dark in person, but it doesn't swatch as pigmented as Apricot in the Middle, which I have been liking more. And then the last blush I wanted to talk about is the birthday blush that you get in the Tarte. I don't remember if I hauled this when I was talking about my drugstore makeup. Maybe I didn't. This might be the first time I'm talking about it. I did mention the Lippy in the liquid lipstick review and check-in that I did on it. But this is the Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush in the shade Party. And this is the little perk point that you get for your birthday for Sephora. And this is just a really gorgeous like mauve-y pink shade. Perfect again for every day. And this is what it looks like. It's just so pretty, like nice and smooth. And I think I need to get rid of most of my Tarte blushes because they're starting to get like a funky smell. But I never really think I used them enough, so I've been holding on to them. Sorry, I keep on like clearing my throat because I have like a tickle from like dust in my room. I know that's kind of weird, but this one is just really pretty, but I suggest going in with a light hand because again, sometimes Tarte colors can be a little bit deceiving. Like they don't really go on the same color on the face as they do look in the pan. If you apply a lot, it sometimes does like turn like this turns like a really pink shade if I apply more. So just be careful about that. And then I just have one bronzer to talk about because I've been using this a lot because I haven't gotten any new bronzers. I'm not in love with the Wet n Wild contouring kit. I like it, but I will mention that more when I talk about the drugstore hot or not kind of products. So this has been the bronzer I've been grabbing for the most this past week or two. I just rediscovered it in my collection and I'm like, I just need to use it again. It's in the NARS Stephen Klein palette. And I'm talking about Laguna, which is right here. I'm wearing it today. I've been wearing it so much lately. It just has the perfect undertone, and I think I could hit pan on it at some point. I am making a pretty significant dent in the middle of it, but it's just such a pretty, like, I don't know why I'm even trying to swatch on this hand when I always swatch with my right hand, because obviously I'm a righty. But if you guys know what Laguna looks like, you guys know that it's a really great everyday kind of shade. And it's just like a perfect undertone for most skin tones, and that's why a lot of people love it. I'm not like too in love with NARS right now since they decided to not be cruelty free anymore. Not that I have most of the products I'm talking about aren't cruelty free from the drugstore, but Wet n Wild is. So I am not cruelty free myself because I want to try out a lot of products, but I was kind of thinking about going cruelty free at some point. I don't know. I just feel like it would be better for the environment and stuff. I don't know. Let me know if what you guys feel about cruelty free products. Obviously I advocate cruelty free like 100%, but I won't like turn myself off to try out cruelty free products, but I felt like I shouldn't be buying NARS anymore because I feel like they were just such a great brand because they were cruelty-free. So I just think it's a little bit shady that they aren't anymore. But yeah, so that's it about NARS and about face products. And now let's just get into some eyeshadow palettes. So the first one is a drugstore eyeshadow palette. Like I said, this is the e.l.f. Mad for Matte palette. Now, I'm not completely 100% over the moon about this palette, but I do think it's a really good palette for the price. I know a lot of people rave about this, about these palettes from e.l.f. So this is what they look like. Alright, so this is the palette that I'm talking about. And I wish that there was a little bit more of a crease selection. Oh my god, I can't talk today. Sorry if like my words are like all discombobulated, but this is what the palette looks like. It's a little bit more cooler toned for me. I wish I would have gotten the second one over the first one, but this is a good palette. Like, it's a good everyday palette. If you are somebody that just really just throws on eyeshadows every single day, I think that is like something that's neutral. This is perfect for you. It's kind of like a dupe for the Visart palettes, so I'd much rather just go for these because they're so much cheaper. I would recommend these over the Visart palettes, obviously, because they're so much cheaper. They have nice pigmentation. They are very smooth when you dip your fingers in. But I'm not like obsessed with them. This is what they look like. I know they kind of like are blended together, but they are super smooth when you dip your finger in. So they're very smooth eyeshadows for the drugstore, and I would pay $10 worth for this if I got it. If I actually like paid for it, because I actually used $10 rewards for this when I got the Physicians Formula blush and the eyeliner. So this was basically free for me. And I just think it's really good for what it is. But I wouldn't like collect all of them because I don't think the formula is like amazing. It's good though. Like, it's not a bad formula. They remind me of I just thought they were going to be more pigmented when I actually used them. Alright, so then the next palette sorry, I keep on getting interrupted. So then the next palette I wanted to talk about is the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this last month, but I've just been gravitating. I was thinking about gravitating and leaning towards at the same time, so I said gravitating. Oh my god. So this is what it looks like. Obviously, everybody and their mom have seen this palette. It's a little bit dirty. Don't know why. But I've just been using this again so much this month. I know I mentioned it last month, like I said. I am trying to hit pan on these two shades. I feel like I made pretty deep of a dent in those two. But I've just been using pretty much every single look that I love from this palette. I really gravitate towards these shades more in the fall time since it's now like October. And these I'm always using on my inner corners, and then these are so gorgeous in the crease. Like, you just have so many options with this palette that this palette was like amazingly thought out. The new one that I saw, the Prism one, looks way too similar to the Subculture palette. So I think that this one was a lot different, and that's why people still love this one more, is what I feel. But it's just gorgeous. These are just so pigmented. They're so easily blendable. They're amazing. I just love this palette. I really couldn't tell you more, because this is always going to be a favorite of mine because I love it, obviously. Okay. Then the next palette, of course, like, I can't get enough of this palette, and I use it so often that I have to mention it again, is my beloved Urban Decay Naked Heat palette. I love it, you guys. This palette is amazing. It's one of my favorites. Like, I think that this is my favorite naked palette of all time now. Like, not even kidding. I just think it's a phenomenal palette. I just think because there's so many mattes in this palette, that's why I love it so much, because all the other naked palettes don't have as many mattes as this one does, and that's why I feel like this one is better. Like, I'm always using these shades every time I use this palette. Like, these 4 mattes are gorgeous. They're just so pigmented and beautiful. Like, these are like one swipe. This is Heat Devil and this is Cayenne. I need a little bit more of Cayenne. Like, Come on. They're just so pigmented. I really think Urban Decay just knocked it out of the park with this palette. Like, they are always impressing me. I love their brand, and I really just, again, can keep on talking about this because I love it so much, and I will use this in the fall time as well because I do love warm eyeshadow looks in the fall as well. I did kind of damage this one a little bit. I know I'm always damaging shit. Like, I just damaged something in this video. Something in this video. So, yeah, love this one as well. I've talked about it like a gajillion times. But yeah, there wasn't really too many that I was like using every single, like my chocolate bar palettes I've been going back to again, and like my other neutral palettes, but you guys know I've just been trying to rotate as many palettes as I can, but those are the two that I've been grabbing for the most. And then I wanted to talk about the one I'm wearing on my eyes today, which is my beloved Lime Crime Venus 2 palette. I'm wearing Mustard in the crease and Jam and a little bit of Mud on the outer corner. And then I'm wearing Marsh on the lid and then Fly on the inner corners. This is just so pretty for the fall time. I'm probably going to use this so much more again this month. I mean, it is October 1st, so this is the first palette I'm using this month. And the only thing is that I feel like these kind of fade a little bit faster than the Venus shades, maybe because they're a little bit darker. That's the only thing, and I think it looks pretty good right now. I do like how it looks. But when I first put it on, I feel like it fades a little bit. But other than that, I love this formula. I did actually go check out Lime Crime in store this past like week or two because they're now selling it in this boutique called Glow House through Bloomingdale's, and they did open a location on Long Island, so I went there. And you could check out all the products in person now. So if they update and keep the products current, like when Lime Crime comes out with them, I'm probably going to go there and swatch them to see if I really love them or not. But I love Lime Crime, and I did recently see that Nordstrom Rack is now carrying them in just the unicorn lipsticks, and I went there and I really wanted to get one because they're only like $8. They're like the newer like beige shades that they had online. From what I saw online when I looked at them, I thought that they were like a metallic, like shimmery finish, but they're actually like a lot more matte in person. So I did want one of them. I'm probably going to go back and get one eventually. And then I just wanted to talk about like one Makeup Geek single. Like, I have been using my dual chrome shades a crap ton this month, and when I wear a pop of color this past month, I've just been wearing green, which is so weird. Like, I've been wearing so many different green shades. Like today I'm wearing Marsh, and when I'm not wearing like what's my favorite green? This is kind of like one of my favorite green shades. I've just been gravitating towards green. I don't know why. Maybe because I've just been wearing a lot of green outfits. But I really have been wearing Charmed a lot this month, and also Jester, and then Typhoon. So I've been wearing all three of those a lot. Charmed is just so pretty. It's one of the foiled shadows. I think I mentioned this last month too. I don't know. I've just been really, really going hard with this shade recently. I've worn it like 2 or 3 times this month, which is a lot for me for a lid shade. And then Jester is like amazing. Oh, they're just so pretty. They're so reflective. And then Typhoon is one of the dual chrome shades. This one's a lot darker, but again, so gorgeous. But I've been really gravitating towards those shades. I also have worn plenty of the other ones this month. I just really have been trying to wear my single shadows more as well. And then, of course, I've been wearing my ColourPop shadows as well. I've been wearing Crisscross and Popular Demand. But I didn't want to mention my ColourPop shadows again because I mentioned them like so much. Actually, you know what? Let me grab that palette. All right, actually, I did want to grab the palette because I have been using these a lot this month as well. I've been using the other Makeup Geek shadows here a lot. I've been using this one on the inner corners, Nostalgia. This one, Legend, on the lid a lot. And this one, Curtain Call. They're all gorgeous. Like, Legend and Curtain Call are so pretty. Like, Legend is such a gorgeous gold, and then Curtain Call is such a pretty reddish shade. So again, love those shades as well. So that's it for those. And I've also been using Crisscross and Popular Demand quite a bit. I love this Crisscross shade. This is by ColourPop. Such a pretty red, and I've been using that a lot in the crease lately, so to define the crease because it's such a pretty shade. And then Popular Demand. Just the ColourPop shadows are flipping amazing. You already know I love them. They're just so pigmented, and that's Popular Demand. These two are Makeup Geek, obviously. So that's it for eyeshadow. And now let's just talk about some lippies and a couple more products for my eyes. So you guys know I was looking for a under eye setting powder from the drugstore, and I really, really have fallen in love with the e.l.f. HD under eye setting powder. I'm wearing it today. I think it does a really good job of preventing my eyeshadow from creasing. I do feel like it's like a dupe for the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. I usually don't like anything else under my eyes besides that, but I think that this is really good. The only downfall about this is the flipping packaging. I don't want to open it because it's going to go everywhere, and I wish that it was like a big sifter and a bigger package like the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder is. So, but this is really, really good. I really like it. I just don't really gravitate towards using it when I'm in a hurry because I don't want it to get everywhere. And then the last products I wanted to talk about before I move on to a couple of lippies. So this is a repurchase, but I wanted to mention it really quickly, and I did purchase something else with it. But this kind of goes hand in hand with each other, and I will haul it eventually. But since I've repurchased this, I'm not revealing anything that I haven't really tested out fully yet. I want to like make sure like I'm like obsessed with this one foundation that I'm using, but I'm not going to mention it yet until after I haul everything. So the first mascara I wanted to talk about is the L'Oreal, well, the only mascara I'm talking about is the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara. I've been using it with the coinciding L'Oreal Voluminous base, which is the primer. The primer is new to me, the mascara is not, and I really, really like these together. I am really, really bad about priming my lashes or like curling my lashes when I do my mascara. So I really wanted to repurchase a cheaper primer, and these were on promo for at Ulta for $4.99, so I got two for the price of one, which I thought was a great price. And I really, really like this mascara now after using it with a primer. I think that's why that was my problem, that I wasn't using it with anything, and that's why I've never been really too crazy about this mascara. I know a lot of people love this one, but I prefer the telescopic one. But since I've been using it with this every time I use it now, I really, really love it, and it basically has the same wand. So I will haul this when I can, when I accumulate everything else. I've been accumulating a lot of stuff again, so I can't wait to share it with you guys. But this has been really nice, and I really have been liking it. I also really like it on the bottom lashes, too. I've been using it on the top and bottom because my MAC bottom lash mascara is kind of drying out now. So I've been trying to test out other mascaras on my lower lash line, and I really, really like this. It's really nice. So, which is surprising because I always use the MAC Black Lash because I just think it's easier to use on the lower lash line, but I really have been liking that one and another mascara. But I didn't mention it in this video because I love the formula, but I hate how much it transfers. And plus, I haven't hauled it yet. So now let's jump into some lippies. So let's talk about the first two that I really am absolutely crazy about, which are the two that I got from Wet n Wild. The first one is the Wet n Wild regular matte lipstick in the shade Bare It All. This is so pretty. I am so glad I got this. Like I said, Andrea Mattiliano like raves about this lipstick. It's like her favorite lipstick ever. And it is so comfortable on the lips. It's so matte, but it's so comfortable to wear. And I've worn this like all day to school from 9 to 5. And it's just such a gorgeous shade. Look how pretty that is. And then the other one is the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit Mega Last Liquid Lipstick. This impressed me so much. Like, oh my god, it's such a gorgeous color. And this is what the wand looks like. Like I've told you guys, it kind of reminds me of Jeffree Star, which kind of annoys me. Oh my god. Hold on. Sorry, I got lipstick on my thumb. But this is so good. It's so comfortable. It lasts so long. And it's such a gorgeous shade. I really want the nude shade from this or like more shades because it's so beautiful. Alright, I'll swatch it because it's just so gorgeous. But I can't believe this is $5. And this is one of my favorite formulas I've ever tried, like no joke. And I've only tried one shade and I freaking love it. It's amazing. Sorry. But this one's in the shade Rebel Rose, which I didn't mention the shade. It is so beautiful. I did a full liquid lipstick review and check-in on this if you want to know my full thoughts, but basically I'm obsessed with it and I can't wait to get more shades. This impressed me so much more than the one I'm wearing on my lips right now. This is another drugstore lippy that I will post a full review and check-in on as well. But I wanted to try out more liquid lipsticks from the drugstore. This one is so much better than this one, and this one's cheaper. It's amazing. I love Wet n Wild. They're so good. And then the other two I wanted to mention is the Maybelline lipstick in the shade Blushing Beige. This one is good. It's not like my absolute favorite, but it is a good lipstick. I just wish it didn't really like transfer on the like middle of the lips. That kind of annoys me. It kind of transfers to the upper lip. But it is a really pretty shade, and I like mixing it with other lipsticks. I just wore it on top of a MAC lipstick like a couple of days ago, and it was really pretty. It sheared it out really nicely, and it's a really comfortable formula. And then the last drugstore lipstick is the Milani matte lipstick in the shade Matte Innocence. The reason why I got this one was because of Jaclyn Hill. And it's a really pretty nude shade. It is really, really comfortable on the lips. Like, really comfortable. This is a little bit glossy because there is a gloss on top of it. Because I tried it on. I threw it on earlier when I went to CVS because I took off this lippy that I was wearing to eat. Because I got home from work and I was starving, so I wanted to eat something. And then I slapped on this to go back out. I wasn't even going to put on a lipstick, but I was like, whatever, I'm just going to put on a regular lipstick. And I was going to keep it on for this for this video, but this is too pink to wear with what I was wearing. This lippy looks not as pink as the other one. But yeah, this is just really, it's a really pretty color, but what I don't like about it, like these are so comfortable on the lips, but I feel like it's not opaque enough when I put it on. I feel like I need quite a few layers, but it is like, I do like it after I put it on like that, but it kind of looks a little bit patchy, just on the inner part, which isn't like too crazy, but it's so comfortable on the lips, so I can kind of look past that. And the last lippy I wanted to talk about is the Tarte's lip paint in the shade Party. Now, I did do a full liquid lipstick review and check-in on this one. The shade is gorgeous. Like, I love the shade, and I like wearing it because of the shade, but the formula is not that great. I did just go check out that video for my full thoughts. But look at this color. Isn't it so pretty? I have been wearing it more this month to test it out more, and I do like it, but I'm not, like, in love with it. And then, of course, there's this whole scandal going on about Tarte. Which is kind of like making me a little bit hesitant to buy anything else from them. And then the last lipstick I wanted to talk about is the MAC Cream Sheen in the shade Cream in Your Coffee. This has always been a favorite of mine. I love this shade, but I have been wearing it more this month, and I love it. I know these are like kind of boring shades, but this is such a gorgeous color. I really love it. I love MAC's lipsticks. I love their formula. And that's it, you guys. That's all of my favorites. I can't believe I got through it. I feel like this took me forever to film. It took me like an hour to film. But now I'm going to go rip my makeup off and relax. I did wear a Lucky shirt again today. This is a Journey band tee that I got a couple weeks ago. And I wore like green olive pants with them and then this denim jacket. So yeah, that's it, you guys. So excuse me, please like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, CBW819, and my Twitter is Pokerface819, and my Snapchat is Pokerface819, and let me know what your favorites are for fall, or what you've been using like the past month that you just love recently. And yeah, that's it, you guys. And if you want any more in-depth reviews on these, let me know. I am testing out a whole bunch of foundations from the drugstore. I kind of got a little bit foundation happy. I got one from Maybelline, one from CoverGirl, one from Number 7. And that's it, you guys. Bye. 2 shades the most, the first 2 shades. And those ones are... Oh my god, I just dug my finger into that.